All right, everyone. Peaceful vibrations. I'm happy to introduce the amazing Queen Dawn Spirit. She is a beautiful and intelligent and spiritual sister in our community who helps a lot of people. She has a very loving spirit to her, very giving heart, and she's a healer. She does many, many things. So I am very proud to introduce my friend, my homegirl, my fellow healer, Queen Dawn Spirit. I'm super excited. So Dawn, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Thank you, Goddess. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I'm so honored. I remember when we first met each other and how we met and connected. It was amazing how how the universe works and our spirit guides and our ancestors. So I'm Queen Dawn Spirit. I'm a Reiki master teacher, past life regression therapist, future life progression. I'm sorry, past life regression therapist, future life progression therapist. I'm an officiant. I'm a reader. I'm a healer, certified healer. I'm studying now to be a death doula. If you guys didn't know that exists, yes, it does exist. So I got many other things on my plate that I'm working on. So my mission is to teach people how to learn how to manifest and heal themselves along their journey. That is my mission. For those that want to. I'm not out here trying to teach the world or how to make the world conform, but those that are connected to me and pick me along that spiritual journey and realm, I'm here for you when you're ready to make that step. You can reach me on queendawnspirit.com is my website. Queen Dawn Spirit is my YouTube channel. Queen Dawn Spirit is my IG page. Queen Dawn Spirit is my Facebook page. So it's pretty easy to remember.
That is amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. Y'all definitely want to go to a website, hit this sister up for all of the different things that she does. I wanted to ask, for people who are not familiar, what is past life regression?
So past life regression is when I guide a person, I hypnotize them in a theta wave state of mind, and I guide them to their past lives to see who they were and why they chose to come here. And it's absolutely amazing. My first client was my granddaughter. My husband and I have like 16 grandchildren. So the one that I saw come into the world, who has always been connected to me spiritually, I found out that she was my child in a previous life. And her mother was my mother. And my mother was her best friend, one of her best friends. And my other daughter was one of her best friends too. And found out that her nephew, both her cousins were her twin daughters in a previous life. So I became a past life regression therapist because death was really hard for me, because we're always taught to fear death. And death is nothing like they tell us it's going to be. It's so much more rewarding. And it was my mission to figure it out. I had lost very close loved ones, my grandmother, aunts, uncles, cousins, and nephews and nieces. So I wanted to figure out what really happens when you leave here and why you chose to come here. So when I guide my clients into I hypnotize them for them to remember the whole session. And then I go through the experience with them because I'm an empath. And it's absolutely amazing. It's healing. So when I do the session, like if the person is crying during the death scene or during any part of the scene, you can't touch them because it prevents the person from healing. A past life regression session or a future life regression session is for healing and to release fear, because that's the number one thing. Those 4 letters, that's one of the worst 4-letter words in the world is fear. And they're always teaching us to fear. So I've done many sessions and I've been able to help so many people and help them understand and overstand, because you never should be under someone, why they chose to come here. What is their life purpose here? What did they learn from the past lives that it can do better in this current life?
That's heavy. That's heavy because, people go through this journey of trying to find themselves and their purpose and who they are, why they're here, and so forth. So that's beautiful to be able to guide someone through that journey. Me personally, I believe everyone has soul contracts. And over time, I've even learned that my mother, my father, and myself, we all knew each other the last lifetime. So it's very interesting how we make these contracts to come back in union before we come in this realm with some of the same people where we may have unfinished business with. We may need their help. You may want to come back as your best friend's sibling to help the bloodline. It's very. I learned all of these things over time. I do not do past life regressions. That's Queen Dawn's area of expertise. I would love to do one with you.
On the West Coast, I do virtual sessions too.
That's amazing. We definitely have to do one because I'm super interested in that, you know. Can you let us know about some of the other things that you do? You do so many things, Queen Dawn. There's so many different avenues of divination and healing work that you do. Can you tell us a little bit about your Reiki? Because you're a Reiki master, am I correct?
Yes, I'm at the highest lineage you can possibly go. I'm a Karuna Reiki Holy Fire 3 master, teacher, whatever you want to call, all above. I teach people, and through becoming a Reiki practitioner, I teach it, and as well as I give the services. And with Reiki, you can manifest what you really want. And it basically what it does, it removes the resistance and the lower vibrations. And what I do is I take energy from Mother Earth through my feet and from the higher heavens through my crown chakra, all goes to my heart and out of my hands into the subject or situation or date, or my eyes, or just you talking to me is healing. Just me speaking to you, rather, is healing. I do it through chants. I do it through symbols. I love everything about Reiki. And when I was always a manifester, but when I became a Reiki master teacher at the highest level, the Karuna level, man, manifestation was off the Richter scale. So that's, I want to teach people that want to learn. Actually, I have two granddaughters that, the one that did the past life regression and the other one, another granddaughter, they're Reiki master, not Reiki masters, but they're Reiki practitioners too. So it's all here.
And that's beautiful. It's always beautiful to me when you pass down these gifts in the family, because a lot of these things, the gifts haven't been lost to me, but how to properly cultivate your spiritual gifts and different things in a lot of families and a lot of cultures has been lost because it's been demonized as something evil or bad. And it's beautiful to teach the youth how to cultivate these gifts and these talents and these things that they're going to need, that's going to help them navigate through this realm, because this is a tough realm. We all go through some really trying things. I just wanted to bring up a couple of people. Just wanted to shout them out because they commented in the comment section. So Delane says, "Hey, Sister D Swank here. Hope all is well." Shout out to you, Delane. We got CLC Consulting. Peace, Curtis here. What's up, Curtis? How are you, Curtis? Thank you for tuning in. And we have Master Self-Love Inside. She said, understand and overstand, because you should never be under someone. That is deep. Yes, you are quoting Queen Dawn and her words of wisdom. So, Queen Dawn, I wanted to also ask, because you said that you were studying something new. You were studying, if I'm not mistaken, you were studying something dealing with doula work. Can you break down what that is and what that does and how it helps others?
It's helping people. So just like there's birth doulas, there's death doulas. So I'm studying to become a death doula because I had last year, or I had a very tragic death in my family. A very young my nephew. So what my mission, it was so hard for me to deal with, even though I was a past life regression therapist, it was my mission to figure out what happened and how I can do to help my family and my loved ones and remove myself from it personally and try to help heal me and others, even though I'm a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master. And so basically it's coaching them along the way, how to cope and things that you can do to help them cope with death. But we are taught that death is the end, and it's not. Everything we experience comes from within, guys. If you think you're going to hell, when you die, you're going to hell. If you think you're going to heaven, you die, you're going to heaven. If you think and only people that are left here in the lower vibration of hell with nobody to jump in is the narcissists and the drug addicts that don't want to release and let go. And I can go a little deeper than that, but I prefer not to do it on this channel today. But how to reincarnate or not reincarnate, or because it's all part of the matrix. So a death doula is helping people to learn how to heal and cope with death even easier than, and understand that one day they will see that loved one again. But see, this is an amnesia world, so we forget everything. And this also reflects back to past life regression. When you go to sleep, your spirit leaves your body. It leaves out of your crown chakra, and there's a silver cord attached to it. And you're going to other dimensions and other planets. You're going to see your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, and other. You're on a mission. Your spirit is not waiting for you to wake up. Your spirit is so strong. That's why we age the way we age, because our energy in our body is wearing our body out. So it doesn't sit there and wait for you. We're like, okay, when's she gonna wake up? Or when he gonna wake up? Like, I'm out of here. Now it's time to really live. Okay, but this is the test. This is a classroom. All right, to figure out how and how you do on this. If you're going to come back, if you're going to cut, like this world is so freaking amazing. There's so much that we can accomplish in this world, but so many of us are dummied down to think that we're less than and we're not worthy. There's nothing you cannot manifest. Just make sure you have a clean heart. Everything comes from right here within. Okay, just like you have certain thoughts about certain people, you pick up on their energies. Listen to your first mind. There's nothing you can't accomplish. Nothing. But they want us to make us think that we're always less than, and we can't.
That was heavy. That was very heavy. Thank you for sharing that, Queen Dawn. I wanted to ask, would death doula work be good for people who have had abortions or stillbirths? Because I've come across a lot of sisters who have womb issues, and it's a physical issue to me, but it's also a spiritual issue. A lot of the sisters that I've come across with various womb issues have been through certain traumas, and I feel like there's times that I'm guided in a reading, for example, to tell people, you got to make peace with that being, with that child. Would death doula work help them with that or overcome something like that?
Most definitely. Also, past life regression helps with that as well. So I've had several clients that have had stillborn births, miscarriages, abortions, and first of all, we pick our parents. We pick our names. We pick our death dates. We pick our whole situation. We pick our avatars, our bodies. We pick our faces. We pick how we were going to look. And depending on that package that we pick is how many times less that we have to come back here. Okay. So when a child is aborted or miscarried or whatever you want to call it, doesn't make it full term, that child knows that if they're going to make it here or not. It's a message to everyone involved. Okay. It's definitely a message. And I have done sessions with clients that couldn't have children or kept miscarrying and helped them actually carry a child full term through my healings. And I just gave it all my love and all that I could to help them have that child they always wanted to have. And it goes back to, once again, that word fear. That 4-letter word fear. So when you miscarry a child, if someone miscarries a child or aborts a child, that child already knows it's not going to make it full term. It's a message for everyone involved, and if you're going to learn from it and how you're going to handle it.
That's very heavy, and I definitely recommend you guys reach out to Queen Dawn if these are some of the issues that you're having some challenges with, because I know that for me, even though I never really quite had womb issues, when before I became plant-based, I did have ovarian cysts, but they weren't anything serious from what I've ever been told with going to the gynecologist. But I do remember many years of trying to conceive and not being able to, until I found out, for my own personal situation, the blockage was really me. It wasn't anything physical, and it was my womb was actually protecting me from having children with the people that I was dealing with at the time over the years. And I know a lot of sisters who have even reached out to me personally because they're having womb issues. And, I suggest cleansing, but there's also the spiritual aspect of it. So I definitely suggest going to Queen Dawn to help manifest this baby. She's an excellent manifester. She has those numbers in her birthday. This is not her first lifetime doing this. I don't believe it's your first lifetime doing it. I have no proof, but I believe you've done it before, because a lot of us healers, we've done this before. You know what I mean? In past lifetimes. And some of us even knew each other. And we crossed paths this time so we can work together. So this is a very beautiful, spirited, sincere sister who pours a lot of love into everything that she does. That's what I've always known about Queen Dawn in the time that I've known her. She pours love into everything she does. So I definitely suggest you guys get a consultation from her. I also saw that you're a wedding officiant. So you might be doing my wedding when I get. I'm gonna have to fly you out here. Yes. Now there's another service, because Queen Dawn does so many wonderful things. There's another service that she does that actually intrigued my mom. I was able to get one from her. She gifted me with one. And I got a few of my family members interested in it. It's a service called AO Scan. Can you speak about what the AO Scan is?
Oh my gosh. Like AO Scan, I actually learned about AO Scan through my Reiki master teacher. And thank you, Master Self Love Inside. I love me some Goldie too, and was it D Swanks, and also Curtis. Curtis is also an amazing consultant too on the financial level, crypto, and all that, and trading. But AO scanning is out of this world, literally. And with this AO scanning, and I've been able to heal so many people, including myself, with this little device. It's like a cell phone. You can do it on a laptop device. But this device has healed my Yorkie, has healed me. How can I go? It can heal from energy to depression to that, I can't say the word, but that virus, to asthma, to abdominal pain, to aligning your chakras. What else does it do? Depression, anxiety, joint pain, like on so many levels. And it's a non-abrasive 10-second recording of your voice. And I can do it virtually or in person. I've been doing this special with my clients that do Reiki sessions. It's normally $250 for the full scan. But if a person gets a Reiki session, I'll discount it hugely, because it gives a full report from the time you were born. Your 12 Chinese medicine, your medicine, 12 Chinese meridians. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it sends, I send a report. It tells you what chakras are blocked. It helps with acne. Yes, it helps with acne, Jasmine. It tells what, even HIV. It tells what chakras are not aligned, what chakras are blocked. It tells and it aligns the chakras, it unblocks the chakras as you're speaking into the device. It does from your hair, skin, nails. This report is off the record still. Plus, it gives you 4 3-minute mantras to listen to 3 times a day, which I suggest they listen to it first thing in the morning, which is 30 minutes to get your day started. Because the first hour should be your hour where you are focusing on you and you're doing your own personal rituals. You should always give yourself at least 1 half an hour to yourself to work on yourself. So this AO scan, and I learned about it from my Reiki master teacher and my mentor, who is also a nurse practitioner and a Reiki master, and she's a shaman. So these are 2 different individuals. And this nurse practitioner, she charges $300 to $600 for her reports. I'm not I'm not doing that. I want it to be affordable because that may be too much for some people that have bills and family and other things and not able to manifest that money right away, because you can manifest anything you want. But this AO scan has healed so many people on so many levels. And even if you don't listen to the mantras, if you tell me something's going on with you, I can send you mantras without you even listening to them, to align and get and remove that lower vibration, because we're attacked by frequencies. We've been attacked by frequencies and hurts all our lives, through radios, through TVs, through casinos, when you go into casinos, through on so many levels. But so this device reconstructs and resets these frequencies that are sent to you and block those lower frequencies and take you where you really want and need to go to. It can heal your domestic animals, cats, dogs, horses. And it's AO scan. It's A as an apple, O as an Oscar, scan, SCAN. Actually, I offer it on my, AO scan. I actually offer it on my website. You can look and see it on my website as well. And AO scan is off the Richter scale. So I have different services on my website that may appeal to some, and some may not appeal to some. So there's a variety of things that you can tap into. My mission is to learn as much as I can. So for some people, this may not be for someone, but this other thing may be for someone. So take your time when you go in through my website, look at it. Also, if you have any questions, I have a contact sheet on my website too, and you can send me questions and I can try to help you to my best ability. I also do readings as well.
Yes. So with the readings that you do also, do you do like tarot? Do you do pendulum readings? Do you also do those kind of readings as well?
Yes, I sure do. Yes, Goddess. I do both. And I get spiritual downloads. You're welcome, Master Love. I get spiritual downloads. And when I'm connecting, and it's funny because when I'm getting these and you do too, Queen, when I get these spiritual downloads, and you're phenomenal. I'm not into neurology like you are, and I'm just leave it there with you. You do the neurology because I'm not messing with that. But yeah, I get these spiritual downloads, and it's like I call on their spirit guides, and they come into me and they direct me and tell me and they talk to me, and I'm able to tell a story. And then I don't even remember some of the things if I don't take notes what I have last said to my clients, because I'm not even in. I go into another zone when I'm doing a reading for my clients. And you know about that.
You know, it's funny. There's this other reader who I watch, and he is on YouTube. His name is Fernando Prudum or something like that. Mm-hmm. And me and Fernando, we have a very interesting history because he's a very, 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 very excellent astrologer. Mm-hmm. And my parents used to go to him when I was a child. Me and him ended up working at the same job at one time. And so I ended up meeting him in person, but then I didn't see him for years. And he now is on YouTube and doing his thing. And one of the things that I remember him saying in one of his readings is that for a lot of healers and spiritual people, the divine wipes out our memory from some of the readings. And that is so true because people come to me all the time and they're like, remember when you said? And I'm like, I don't really remember when I told you all that. But I was just like you said, you're in a zone and you're flowing and you're just being this vessel that's being used, and you're just flowing and you're saying what's coming through, what you're channeling, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're hearing. You know, you could be clairaudient, you can be clairvoyant, different things. So that's very much true when you're into those readings. When you're doing those readings, it's a very beautiful experience, and I find it to be very sacred. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you also, what led you into getting into this work, Queen?
Well, I was raised spiritual. And it goes back to, on my mom's side, the Cherokee bloodline, and our Native American Indian. And my mom was secretly teaching me, but I was going to Catholic school, right? So our people were teaching our children didn't realize what they were teaching us. Okay. And yes, Moon Butterfly says she hardly remembers her readings too. She's a very amazing. She speaks to the ancestors. But yeah, and you got to have her on your show too, Queen. She's amazing, her and Empress. But yeah, when I went, I learned. Hi. Excuse me. I learned from that mom, and I feedback home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. Please don't be sorry. You're good. Okay. I learned back from my mom. I think I just got knocked off. Am I still here? Okay, there I am. I learned from my mom from a very young age. She was teaching me ways to protect myself and teaching me things. And I just thought as being natural. But each year in my spirituality, grown over the years, that my spirituality was elevating, and I saw that I can help heal others because I love helping people. I saw that I was able to manifest. Each year I elevated each year. So the wonderful thing about spirituality is there's no ceiling to spirituality, right? And it's beyond the sky. There's nothing you can't manifest. And I've always been intrigued, always loved it. And my spirituality was so heightened sometimes that if I would smoke some marijuana or something, I get paranoid. Like my height, I didn't need to be smoking no marijuana because I would be paranoid like a mofo because I didn't need that altering to my mind. This is how I was raised. So spirituality is all I know. Is all I know, which also helped me balance my husband because he knew nothing about it. This is all new to him. So when I was elevating, he was like, okay, you just did card readings and vision boxes and like you got altars around the house. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing rituals. I'm like, you didn't expect me to change, but I've been doing rituals all my life. He just didn't know it. But then, when we got married, I had to let him know, hey, this is who I am. I'm not going to be ashamed of who I am. If you guys are on that spiritual path, do not be ashamed of who you are as long as you're not hurting anyone. Tap into your inner self. This is what you came here for. This is what you chose. This is your path, because if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. Stop worrying about what people think about you. They're not paying your bills. Okay? And stop looking for others outside of you to level you up. You can level yourself up. Okay? You can be guided along the way, along the path, pick people along the path, because I'm just a spiritual vessel to help people, guide them along their path, because there's going to be other people who are going to meet after me while you're with me. There's going to be so many people you're going to meet along the path. There's so much information. There's so many downloads you're going to get. After today, your life will never be the same. If it is, then you're doing something wrong. If some people disconnect themselves from you, let them go. Don't chase them. They're removing themselves out of your life for a reason, because remember, when one door closes, many more opens, and something bigger and better always comes along. I remember I was in this toxic relationship with this guy, and I was really wanted to be with this guy, and that's because I didn't have self-love and wanted to be with this person and willing to put up with the mistreatment. And as soon as I said, you know what, F that, this is not who I am, this is not the way I want to be. And I said, I love me first. And then I started doing the healing work through EFT tapping and spiritual healing. And EFT is emotional freedom technique. I learned that in my church, which is a church of mediums and healers. And once I started doing the healing work, that's when I was able to finally attract the right partner into my life and stop attracting these lower vibrational people. So if someone dismisses you or disconnects with you because of your spirituality, let them go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one thing that I've found on the path, is that you have people that don't understand your journey. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking the other day, because I'm like, I know for me, I always in my younger years wanted to fit in. I could never understand why. And I used to pray about it as a kid. Like, how come I can't be like everybody else? Everybody else's life seems so easy. It seems so smooth. It seems so perfect with this idea that the Matrix taught me of what perfection was. And as I get older and as I grow and as I evolve, I realize that who I am innately is perfection. And it's not meant for me to fit in. I don't need to fit in with trends. I am the trend. Because who I always have been is what people aspire to be. So I'm so busy trying to be like everyone else. So many people are trying to be like me. Things that come natural to me. Things of who and how I always was. My essence that made me me. So definitely don't be afraid to walk in purpose. If healing work is your calling, go into it and go into it proudly and go into it without any shame. Everyone is not going to understand your path. Yeah, you're going to be a little weird to people. That's okay. As long as you are true to you. That's what I had to learn over the years, what mattered. As long as you are true to you, regardless of what anybody says. Everybody's on their own path. So really, everybody don't really need to be in your business. Everybody's on their own path. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has their own. And one thing also that's been coming around heavy, and it actually came out on one of my tarot readings on my page. As you ascend, one thing that I'm really getting a deeper understanding of is as you ascend, the people who were with you may not always come with you. They're not meant to reach certain levels that you're meant to reach sometimes. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. But if you're like, oh, I want to become this millionaire, for example, and you've been working on manifesting that, the people who you grew up with from the block, that's not their path. That may not be their path. So you can't bring them on that journey. You're going to meet new people. You're going to have to leave some people behind. And that's a part of the journey. It can feel lonely. But in time, you'll come to understand the path and understand it on a deeper level. I also wanted to mention one thing I really love and admire about Queen Dawn is the fact that she is married. I see so many people that are into healing work and into all kind of stuff, and they can't sustain a relationship. Huh?
I'm having a private.
That's all right. But I love the fact that she's and not to say that you have to be in one, because you can be, in a beautiful relationship with yourself. But I do admire that about Queen Dawn, because you hear so many people talk about, oh, let's build the family, let's build the black family, all this stuff people talk about, but these people a lot of times can't sustain relationships. You know what I mean? And I find it as a kind of weird, because it's like there's something imbalanced and we're all working on something, but they got to be truthful to themselves, and I feel like to their audience. We all got things that we're working through, that we're healing through. Mm-hmm. But, be honest about that. Don't make it seem like, oh yeah, we're here to heal the family and this and that, but you got 10 kids with 5 baby mamas. Or you get what I mean? Or you got 3 baby daddy. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing for everybody. Everybody's on their own path. But I just say this is just something I personally admire. One of the many things I admire about Queen Dawn, this beautiful Empress here, who don't even look her age, by the way, honey. Black don't crack. I'm trying to be like Queen Dawn when I grow up. I wanted to also ask you, Queen Dawn, can you share some of your success stories with the work that you've done?
Well, which is funny. I'm so glad you mentioned that I'm married. I'm happily married. I love my husband to death. Like, he's my best friend in the world. But I still, sometimes, honey, I don't know. We wasn't going to make it sometimes. So, but it took a lot of work. When I met my husband, like, we come from 2 total different backgrounds. But guys, if you have that partner, you need to speak the life and love into your partner. Okay? Even if they don't understand or overstand or understand, no, like I said, no one should never be under anyone. But you can manifest through your partner. You can manifest through your partner and they don't even know that you manifested through them. Okay, so peep this. This house. I wish I could show you guys the whole house. So this is my 5th home. This is my husband's 2nd. So this is my home. My husband brought us, or me, this house. He brought me another house in Massachusetts. We sold it and we moved here. He took the leap of faith on me to move back to Maryland, because I knew this is where my roots is. This is where I needed to be. So I always wanted a waterfront property. And I've said this on my channel before. And so what I was doing to manifest, I would go any vacation we would go on, it had to have a water view whenever I woke up. That was the number one rule. It had to have a water view. So we went to Puerto Rico, we had a water view, walked straight out onto the beach. Went to Jamaica, walked straight out onto the beach. We went to several different Barbados. Everywhere we had water view. That's the first thing I see when I wake up, because you remember your first hours, you're manifesting hours, right? So I was like, but the lower stuff of mine was like, I want a waterfront property, but I don't want to spend $1 million for this property, right? And how I'm going to build, and where if I buy the house, either way, it's going to be $1 million plus. So I'm thinking lower vibration. So I needed to get that energy balance. So the house that we were going to build on land, it had a stream on it, but it was the beginning of a stream, and that property didn't work out. And I was actually working with my spiritual advisor, Darielle. And we're talking about this property, and we're going to get it, but it went over more than the budget that we were willing to pay. So finally, I just let it go. I said, you know what? I want my husband to be happy. He's gonna pick. He looked for properties, and then the one that I like was the one that he was going to get, because he already knew the ones he liked, and he picked this house right here. And guess what? We have waterfront property in our backyard, because I manifest with water. When I first walked, I was like, well, the driveway is not as long as the other house. So guys, you could be distracted by things when you see something. Every situation has a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. So when I first walked into the house, I was like, you don't have the grand foyer like I like. I was thinking the old traditional way, because I really wanted a log cabin home too. That's another story. But when I walked into the house and I saw the huge pond, and our house is in the middle of the pond, and it's not no little baby pond. Like, this thing is massive. You look on my Facebook page or my Instagram page or my YouTube channel, you'll see how large this pond is. And I'm telling you how powerful the universe is. When you start elevating, when I'm doing my chants and I'm doing my rituals or whatever I'm doing, and I'm speaking in my affirmations, I actually see ripples. I've sent pictures to my husband in videos so people don't think I'm crazy. I've sent it to family members that when I'm speaking and doing my rituals or manifestation, there's ripples that be moving in the water, or the sun hits the water a certain way or there's certain birds flying by my house. Like, I'm always getting some type of spiritual blessing. And that's the universe, my spirit guides, God, my answers, whatever you want to call it, telling me this is what you've been asking for, girl. And here it is. Now it's time for you to guide people and teach them how to manifest into being the best that they can be. It's not, you can't just always take. You got to give too. So that's why it's my journey to teach people how to manifest. I raised 3 children, no child support, not going to offend my children. All 3 of them are successful. They're not perfect, but they're perfect to me because they're my children. Okay, so I've accomplished so much in life. I don't have no college degree. Okay, I don't have no master's, no PhD. I have certifications in teaching people how to love themselves and how to heal and how to manifest what they want.
I love it. I love it. That's just a testament that what you want to be and who you want to be and who you're destined to be can come true, regardless of how far-fetched that may feel or people may think it is. Sometimes you have to create your own lane. Sometimes there is no blueprint that surrounds you, and you have to create your own path to get to where and how and what you're supposed to be. Imagine if this sister did not go into the healing work and really go into manifesting. You know what I mean? That would still be a dream. And so that's a very beautiful, beautiful gift. That's a very beautiful thing that you're here to service the people and help us out with these things. That's very, very beautiful and profound. I wanted to know, how can people follow you or reach you if they wanted to purchase some of your products? I do have your website, Queen Dawn Spirit, for some of your products and readings. What other ways can people follow you? Are you on YouTube? Are you on Instagram?
Yes, Queen, all above. I'm Queen Dawn Spirit, straight across the board. I'm Queen Dawn Spirit on Facebook. I'm Queen Dawn Spirit on YouTube. I'm Queen Dawn Spirit on IG. Okay, so you guys can, and queendawnspirit.com is my website. So you can reach me on any level. There's no excuse not to reach me. So when you're ready and you're ready to jump the board, but you got to be willing to do the work too. You know, like I have many clients, like I work for a hotline too. A psychic hotline, and I work with regular clients that I guide. I guide them on their life's purpose. And when they're not doing what they're supposed to do, I keep it 100. Like, you have to be willing to do the work. You have to release the fear, and you have to release the resistance. Now, I may send you some stuff. You'll be like, why is she sending me this stuff? I'm sending you this stuff because it works. I'm not doing it just, and when I send you this stuff, I'm getting spiritual downloads from your spirit guides or your ancestors or the universe, whatever is coming to me, the downloads, and I'm doing what they're telling me to tell you to do. So what I may tell you to do, it may not be something else I may tell somebody else to do. But if I tell you to do something, do it. And when you do it, you have to have 0% doubt. A really good thing is how to manifest is to manifest with rituals and with mantras that you can't understand or overstand the words, because then there's less of a resistance there, right?
Would you say that it would be good to sometimes do mantras in different languages? Because sometimes I feel called to speak like indigenous languages. I sing and chant in indigenous languages, and sometimes I do in Spanish as well. Would you say that that would help to minimize the resistance for what you're manifesting?
Yes. And you have a gorgeous voice. See, all right, so my healing is my voice speaking to me. I can't sing. Well, I can sing a little something, but I can't really sing, to be honest with you. But my voice, me speaking, is sending healing vibrations. My hands are healing vibrations. My eyes, my ears are healing vibrations. This queen heals through cooking, her voice when she sings, through numbers. Okay, so what I may heal in, this is what makes me a rhythm of who I am of healing. You may be able to heal through drawings, through art, through clothing, through food, through knowledge. Like, we're all born healers, but it's important that you find out you're not what's in rhythm of you. Why you chose to come here to help heal this earth, because you chose to come here for a reason. So it's your mission to find out why you chose to come here. So how you find out why you chose to come here is what makes you happy. What can you do to help the community? What can you do to help our people? No, and you can't heal the world. So if they don't try to conform everybody. Let them come to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. This powerful queen right here just gave so much information and knowledge that is pivotal, that we need to know, that we need to just digest. So definitely make sure you hit Queen Dawn up. She is amazing. She is dope. All of the different services that she has, from being a wedding officiant, so if you're getting married, you could call Queen Dawn, to doing an AO scan, of finding out about your health on multiple levels, not just the physical level, but also on the chakra level. And I think AO scan also works with animals, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because I think you did one for my brother's cat.
Cats, dogs, horses. I healed my Yorkie. His little leg got hurt. And then his paw, one of his nails got hurt. It was bleeding. I put that AO scan on him, honey. He was bouncing around the house within 24 hours. Okay?
I know that's right. Yes, all of that, man. The Reiki. She's a Reiki master. She's studying to be a death doula, which I think is very, very, very much needed, especially at this time. The womb work. We carry so much in our womb as women. You know, a lot of the pain, the generationals. And you all even talked about and touched on a little bit of sex magic with manifestation, which is interesting because when you think of the woman's womb, our vagina, our womb is a portal itself. You know, you think that you think about how children are born. They are birthed from one realm into this physical realm through our womb. We don't always realize as a woman how intense and how powerful we are, and how much goes through the womb. You know what I mean? Like it's such a sacred portal. When you think about it, the womb of any female animal births things from one realm to the other realm. That's heavy to me. The fact that I have that power as a woman, the fact that we have this power is, I feel like we're just so tied to Mother Earth in a way that it's hard to explain or to really, but I just, feel so connected. It's so beautiful. I thank you for taking your time and for coming here. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and to Queen Dawn's channel on YouTube. Make sure you hit her up. Go to her website. She has crystals, I believe, as well, right?
No. My crystals,
yes.
Actually a jeweler.
Say that one more time.
I get my crystals from my certified jeweler. So
y'all see that? Some of you guys are looking for crystals. Support the sister. Can you also let me know your Cash App if anybody wants to donate anything to you?
Oh yeah. What is this?
That's all right. I be forgetting my stuff too all the time.
I don't want to give the wrong one. Hold on.
Yes, please support this sister. A lot of the ways that within the quote unquote black community, a lot of the ways that a lot of the elders were able to help the community is the community supported them. When you think of people like Aretha Franklin, who would donate the proceeds from her concerts to black activists, to people in the civil rights community, we have to support one another. We can't wait for other people to support us or other things or entities or systems. We have to support one another. So something as simple as dropping $5 Cash App, something as simple as liking, comment, share, subscribing, that's free to help us in furthering the work that we do. That's free because we're helping the community. That's something that won't break anyone's pockets, but it shows a level of support. We don't need any more healers, any more intellectuals, any more I'm wondering who's at my door, but I'm gonna check in a second. We don't need any more people dying broke. We don't need any more people who put and pour into our community not getting the accolades that they need from the community. You know what I mean? So please don't forget to show some support to Queen Dawn Spirit. What's your Cash App, sis?
Go ahead and answer the door. I'm going to talk to them for a second while you answer the door real quick. Okay, so my Cash App is Dawn, DAWN, Kennedy, KENNEDY, Davis, DAVIS. So it's the $ Dawn Kennedy Davis. I thank you guys, and anyone that gives a contribution is fine. Is if you can give $1 or $2, I'm not asking for any money. But anyone that's listening to this video, I'm sending you Reiki healing, love, and protection and manifestations to any positive intention that you want to accomplish. I'm sending you Reiki healing love for that new place you want to move to. Reiki healing love for that new relationship or potential relationship. Reiki healing love to your homes, to your workplaces, for that new car, for things that you want to accomplish, paying off your bills, having more than enough food in your home. Everything you want to accomplish in a positive aspect, I'm sending Reiki healing love to it all.
Thank you. I came back right in time. Somebody came looking for the perfect person who used to live here before me. And it's funny because I didn't know the person, but me and her have the same initials.
Wow.
We have the same initials. So I'm just like, no, she's just not here anymore. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. Even where I moved to, there's something significant to me in the name. I'll tell you about it after the show. But my boxing gym, same name. Like it's just the synchronicities and how things align, especially when you're walking in your purpose. When you're doing things, I'm sorry, I'm a little out of breath because I ran up the stairs. But when you're doing things in alignment with the purpose that you're called for, and you can find out what your purpose is by going to Queen Dawn and getting a past life regression. But when you find out what your purpose is and what you're here for this time around in this realm, things will move out of the way to clear space so that you can walk in your purpose. Things that you may not have thought were possible will occur just so you can walk in your purpose. Because the divine, the ancestors, the spirit beings, they were waiting for you. Because there was work that you signed up to do. They're waiting for you. And a lot of times it's us holding ourselves back You see what I'm saying? A lot of times it's us holding ourselves back from what we need. And we hold ourselves back for different reasons. We have different blockages. We have different experiences. And in this realm, we go through a lot of trauma. We go through the experience of being incarcerated, the experience of being assaulted. There's so many things that we go through that kind of cloud our perception of ourselves. In addition to the brainwashing that happens from the alleged powers that be, that we like to call the powers that be, but they really have no power. We give them the power. The things that they cast on us, because they're spells that they're casting on us, to make us believe that we are less than who and what we are, to make us believe that we're not capable of the things that we are capable of, to take the innocence and the special things about us away from us. For example, one thing, me being an early childhood educator, I actually teach special education right now. One thing, a lesson that I never liked in early childhood is fiction and nonfiction. Reason being is not that I think that children should not be taught that, but it's how it's taught, and it's, to me, too early, I think, that it's taught. Because their imagination is their world as a child. And you manifest through your imagination.
Especially the first time.
Right. And so if you strip away a child's imagination and you define what's real, what's fake, it to me, it fucks with their ability to manifest. And I never liked that from a spiritual aspect. Because they need those spaces to be free and to have their imagination. This happens on such a deep level. The children are being taught this at 3 years old. They're too little for that, in my personal opinion, as an educator. And so I say all of this to say that, like you said about the different frequencies that we come across, we're constantly being attacked in multiple levels so that the rich can stay rich and that people can stay in power. But with Pluto going into Scorpio in the United States, a lot of stuff is going to be torn down.
Yep.
Because time is up. Time is up. This is the time of the healer. This is the time of the spiritualist. And even the fake ones that's out there, you're going to be exposed as well. The people who are trying to take from people and not walking in authenticity, it's going to be exposed as well. So this is a time of revelations. From my personal perspective and from what I've seen through the numbers, from the downloads that I've got spiritually, the dreams, what I've seen in visions, what I've heard through my ancestors and my spirit guides, this is that time. We need people like Queen Dawn. We need people like Moon Butterfly Goddess. We need people like me. There's a lot of us out here. Use us to help navigate this realm. There is nothing evil and all of this stuff about it. Anything can be evil if you make it evil. Right. It makes it easier for us to be controlled because we don't think that we're worthy. We constantly feel that we have to live on our knees. Never realizing that the power is within you. If you're supposed to be made in God reflection, why are you not God on some level? You are the God of your surroundings, of your world. And it's up to you to either be a victim of circumstance or to empower yourself and step into purpose and do the things that you need to do to help you evolve and become who you're supposed to be. And it's a hard task. It's not easy. It's tough. Most healers and people that get into healing work have been through traumas. And those traumas, I learned to interpret as a form of rites of passage for us. Because it was like, are you really ready to take this path? How are you going to handle this situation? Is it going to cause you to become an abuser? Or are you going to turn inward and work on your healing?
Right.
So that you can help others and guide others to get through the healing process because you've been through it firsthand. And it's up to us. It's up to you. We already agreed to these things. I remember one time I was in, because I'm into psychedelic medicines and all that, right? So I remember one time I was at a psychedelic medicine ceremony and my ancestors showed me so many things. And then at the end they were like, do you accept? And I was like, what? I was like, what? I gotta get back to you. I don't know what to say at the time. But then I came back and I said, I accept. I accept it. And they knew I was going to accept it. They knew I was just talking from a place of fear in my heart. And they've been working on me on getting rid of that fear. Because fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's imagined to keep us from doing things. You know what I mean? And as we get through those fears, we realize there was nothing to fear at all. These are imagined blockages that we create in our mind because of experiences, because of what we heard, because of different things. We create these blockages in our mind. And when we create these blockages in our mind, it keeps us off the path. And everyone has their own path. I don't knock people if you're Muslim, if you're Christian. They may knock me. I really don't care. But I don't knock whatever your path is. If you're Buddhist, if you're atheist, if you're an occultist, I don't knock it because that is part of your path. Of your path. Walk in your path and in your truth. Don't tell nobody else how to do this. Unless they come to you, like someone like you or Queen Dawn or something like that, me. You know, but other than that, like, it's a tough journey, but it's so worth it. Because when you take the courage to walk in your purpose, a lot of times you are healing generational traumas.
Generational curses. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when I do my Reiki sessions, what's different from mine than other Reiki sessions, I like to do ancestral healings at the beginning of my Reiki sessions to heal the ancestral trauma. And I take them on this meditated journey. And as they're going through that, healing that through the meditation, I'm also doing Reiki on my client at the same time. And I wanted to say another thing. Guys, family, community, be careful who you sleep with. Because there's another thing called STD, is called spiritual transmitted diseases. And your root chakra is where your genital areas is. That's your number one chakra. That's how many people's spirits were broken too. So don't share your root chakra with everybody. Make sure that they're worthy of you to share your root chakra with them, because this is spirituality. This day and age is on another level. It's nothing like when we were growing up. It's off the Richter scale right now. I just had to say that because Spirit told me to say that, Queen.
I am so glad that you said that, because that's very, very real. And now that it's become kind of a fad to get in spirituality, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but so many people are getting into it and not really knowing how to properly get into it. They are going to deities, they are going to beings without going to their ancestors first. And they're opening doors and things that they don't really know what they're doing. And I had to learn because and when I first started, I was doing stuff like that because I had been in a situation with a male who had rooted me, him and his aunt, who was a priestess. And I had to get my way out of that and learn how to get my way out of it. And that was kind of my introduction into getting into this side of things on a deeper level. It's always been in me, but that was my introduction into getting into this side of things. And I remember there was a man that I had dealt with, and we talked about doing sex magic together in our intimacy, but we never really got to do any rituals, really, you know. And one day, me and him were intimate. And I talked to him about it after, and he's like, oh, I already manifested what I wanted to.
Wow.
And I felt so violated. I don't think he knows to this day, I felt very violated that he did that. It was like, you didn't share that with me, and you're using the sacredness of my womb, and I allowed you to use that.
But you don't have to do sex magic, right?
Say that again, Mama.
You know you don't have to have a partner to do sex magic.
Oh, you don't. But at that time, this was years ago. At that time, it just bothered me because someone was using my portal in a way that they weren't transparent to me about. You know what I mean? And we have to realize that there are different portals that people do manifestation through. Sex being one of the portals, your sexual organs, whether you're male or female. When people do a lot of these rituals and things against the children's innocence, their innocence of their heart is a portal as well. The heart is another portal. And so you're able to manifest and birth all kinds of negativity or positivity into the children, and it will manifest quicker because they're so innocent. They don't have as many blockages and distractions the way we do. So definitely protect your children. Something also you mentioned earlier about frequencies reminded me of that damn Coco Melon show. It looks so cute, but I can't stand Coco Melon. Why? Because Coco Melon's like a little baby show, and it's cute because it's like this little big head baby, and they play the music, and the baby sings, and everybody sings. It looks very cute. But what bothers me about the show is the pitches and the tones of the sound. It's something to me. And I remember someone I knew who had a baby who used to love the show. And they would say that when the music came on, it was like their baby went in a trance. And would jump out of their arms to get to the show.
Wow.
There's something called, when I got my first degree in psychology, there is a group of psychologists, there's a job that's called industrial organizational psychologists. Industrial organizational psychologists, their whole job and purpose is to study humankind, study color psychology, study us down to the way that we think, and use it in marketing. Right. So they know that there's certain sound frequencies. If you're having a children's show, you're trying to reach a target audience of children. There's certain sound frequencies and pitches that's going to catch them. They know that there's certain colors that's going to stimulate hunger. They study us down to the hair follicle, down to the taste bud, and then they use this against us, and we don't even realize that we're being used. McDonald's has the specific colors that it has because those colors stimulate hunger.
Almost fast food.
Yes, and so there's things that we aren't always able to observe with the eyes. Healing and all of this stuff is a multifaceted thing. It's levels to this. It's layers to it. I remember when I was heavily into alkaline eating, and I was heavily into, everybody in the world needs to become a vegan, and I thought I was just telling everybody in the world what they needed to do, and I thought I was being helpful. Until the divine showed me that's not how I need to get my message across. And that it wasn't meant for everyone to become this. This wasn't everyone's path. I don't need to force it down everyone's throat. And then I had to go through my own struggle of going back into meat and realizing how difficult that is of a transition for someone. So instead of me judging them, the universe gave me a cosmic ass whipping. And it was like, you forgot what that felt like. You forgot what that struggle felt like.
Right.
And then I had to go through it and cleanse, because I was like feeling so bad. And I realized there was times where I had drifted back into the processed food and the meat and stuff. And I'm in a store pacing back and forth like an addict because I wanted to buy it. And I'm trying to cleanse. I'm trying to get off of it. I'm like, I don't even eat meat no more. What am I doing? It's an addiction.
Yeah, certain foods too.
Absolutely. And it taught me to exercise a level of compassion with people who are trying to heal and do better that I needed to have. And I was like, wow, because I was being so like this. Alkaline, this and that. If you're not vegan, you're gonna die. Real crazy, like I see people do now. And now I realize how annoying I was being. But my intention in my heart was to help, because I had to heal my own self through illnesses with the guidance of people like Dr. Sabi, with the guidance of people like Dr. Africa, with the guidance of people like Queen Afua, and it helped me in a major way, and it taught me different things on how to pay attention to my body.
Right.
You know what I mean? But is veganism for everyone? It is not. In my personal opinion, from my own spiritual downloads, it is not for everyone. But everyone does need to take care of health. Everyone does need to eat healthier. You know what I mean? But sorry to go into all of that. I'll be going on. You know I could talk.
No worries.
But I thank you, Queen Dawn. I thank you, beautiful Empress. I thank you all for watching. Please share our video. Thank you. Please subscribe to our channel. Support the sisters. Help us out. We're doing some amazing things, and we have so much more to reveal to the world. So much more to do in this world, and this is only the beginning. You know what I mean? Don't forget to comment on our YouTube channels. Also, it helps with the algorithm and looking at the views and all of that stuff, so that we can develop an extra source of income for ourselves. In addition to the other things that we're doing, because that'll help us further help the community and further help people that come to us in need of healing. So thank you all. We love y'all. We thank y'all for your time. Thank you so much, divine beings, for walking with us on our paths and protecting us and guiding us through everything that we encounter. Thank you for being there and building us up and helping to teach us to empower ourselves, and helping us to learn how to properly act as a vessel to help the people that come to us and that are guided to us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to close out.
Thank you, Queen, so much. You're welcome. I love you very much. Fly like an eagle. That's my cousin, Sabbatical. Thank you, Butterfly, Moon Butterfly Goddess. Just some amazing, phenomenal people here watching. I love you guys so much. And thank you, Queen. I love you. I can't wait to chat with you again soon.
I love you too. Hopefully you come out here to me one day and you get to hang out. All right. Thank you. We love y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Peace, y'all.